Keast on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Prosecutor Kelly Collins appearing on behalf of the people as well.
And I think you're muted, Ms. McDonald.
Thank you. Karen McDonald on behalf of the people.
Thank you.
Good morning, Your
And
Honor.
for-
Paulette Michelle Lofton on behalf of Mr. Crumbley, and we are agreeing to appear by Zoom this morning.
Thank you.
Good morning,
Huh?
Your Honor. Amy Hopp on behalf of Ethan Crumbley.
And Ms. McKelvey.
Good morning, Your Honor. Deborah H. McKelvey, court-appointed guardian ad litem for Ethan Crumbley, and I have no objections to proceeding with this matter on Zoom this morning.
Thank you. Mr. Crumbley, this is Judge Carniak. Could you please state your name for us?
Robert Crumbley.
Mr. Crumbley, if any time you cannot hear or understand myself or any of the parties to the proceeding, will you please let the court know?
Yes.
And we're handling this proceeding today remotely instead of in person at the courthouse. Is that with your consent, Mr. Crumbley?
Yes.
Okay, great. So this is the date and time scheduled for a probable cause conference. And I do see, have received just a few moments ago, a written waiver of a preliminary exam. So I just want to address that briefly. Ethan, you do have a right to a preliminary exam. You understand that?
Yes.
And it's my understanding that you have met with your attorneys, not once, but twice. You met with Ms. Lofton and Ms. McKelvey in order to discuss this matter regarding your preliminary exam. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. And there was a form called waiver of preliminary exam. Did you receive that, Mr. Crumbley?
Yes.
And did you read it and review it with your attorneys? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Did you read that form and review it with your attorneys?
Sorry. Yes.
And did you understand it?
Yes.
And do you have any questions of the court regarding any of those rights?
No.
And you signed that document, correct?
Yes.
So you've been advised by two attorneys, but I'm also going to, on the record, just to make sure that you have absolutely no questions, also review those rights with you. So at a preliminary exam, it'd be up to the people to show two things: probable cause to believe a crime was committed and probable cause to believe you were the person that committed that crime. If the people were unable to prove both of those, then the case would be dismissed. Do you understand?
Yes.
Knowing that, is it still your desire to waive your right to a preliminary exam?
Yes.
By waiving your right to a preliminary exam, you'll automatically be bound over to circuit court as charged, and you will not have a chance to come back to this court for any reason as it relates to these cases. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Knowing that, is it still your desire to waive your right to a preliminary exam?
Yes.
Has anybody threatened you or promised you anything to waive your right to a preliminary exam?
No.
Thank you. I do see there is a written waiver, but I just want to verify that people also waive their right to a preliminary exam. Is that correct?
We do, Judge. Thank you.
Okay, great. Your preliminary exam will be waived. You will be bound over to circuit court as charged. As it relates to bond, it's my understanding that that issue will be addressed in the next 2 weeks pursuant to a newly enacted statute, a federal statute. And both sides would like some time to prepare for that. So instead of me retaining jurisdiction for that purpose, there will be a hearing that will be set before the Oakland County Circuit Judge within the next 2 weeks pursuant to that federal law. Anything else?
No, thank you, Judge,
Yes.
for mentioning that. I did want to place on the record that we did have a status conference this week with the attorneys and Your Honor and discuss the appropriate venue for that motion regarding the continued detention of the defendant in the Oakland County Jail to be the Oakland County Circuit Court. I know Ms. Lofton has communicated with the Circuit Court, and they are agreeable to setting the hearing for us in the next 2 weeks.
That is correct.
Great. Wonderful. Thank you for placing that on the record.
Your Honor,
Anything
and
else?
additionally, I had an opportunity to discuss that exact issue with Mr. Crumbley as well, and he understands that there will be a separate hearing at Circuit Court to address that issue and that it will not be addressed with you today.
Thank you, Ms. McKelvey, for putting that on the record. Anything else anybody wants to state on the record before I lose jurisdiction.
Not from the people. Thank you, Judge.
All
Nothing
right,
from
thank
defense,
you
Your
all for
Honor.
your professionalism and your cooperation. The court truly appreciates it. Take care.
Thank you,
very
Your
much.
Honor.